I think a lot of people agree that the new Ant-Man movie that's been, teased in trailers and stuff is a little bit underwhelming. But I think that it's actually going to be a very important movie. Now that we've had Infinity War, I think Ant-Man's actually going to play a vital role in Avengers 4. I think this new Ant-Man is actually going to end where Infinity War ends, where everyone poofs. And I think the Wasp is gonna, bite the dust. Literally. And I think Hank Pym and, Paul Rudd. I don't know his actual character's name. And I think they're gonna be the, last two there. And in the movie, when they go subatomic, I think they're gonna discover a means of time travel. Or they'll discover a means of dimensional travel in the quantum realm. This is one reason why I think that the new Ant-Man movie is actually going to be really important towards the whole overall premise of Avengers 4. And I think Ant-Man's actually going to be a pretty vital character, which is surprising. I don't think anyone would expect him, Ant-Man, to be a primary role in Avengers 4. People expect him to be in it, but not, one of the main characters. But I think he's actually going to be a pretty important character. Now, if you look at the leaked Avengers 4 set photos, you'll notice that there's Captain America, Ant-Man, Iron Man, and the Hulk. The thing with Iron Man is it's Iron Man from the current Infinity War timeline. Or so it looks. He looks older. Now, I think that when Iron Man gets back to Earth, which I don't know how he's going to do that. If Wong is alive, maybe he'll sling ring teleport onto Titan and be like, yo, where's Doctor Strange? And be like, oh crap, he's dead. Oh no. And then they, take him home with Nebula. Or if there's just happens to be a ship that's, lying around in the wreckage somewhere. Or, this one is a big or, if Doctor Strange's sling ring just happens to not disappear with him, and Nebula or Tony Stark could pick it up and just somehow, conjure their inner sorcerer and then, use that, which I don't think is going to happen. But I think the Wong one is more likely of the three. I mean, it's going to be super awkward between Nebula and Tony Stark being on Titan, because Nebula didn't really lose anyone. I mean, she doesn't really care. She lacks empathy. But you got Tony Stark, who literally just lost everyone. I mean, Peter Parker just died in his arms. And so it's going to be really awkward. Like, I mean, what does Nebula say? Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, he's going to be sitting there, like, stunned and mourning. And she's just going to be like, what do I do? I don't know. I think it's just going to be weird. It's going to be a little awkward. Unless they just skip that part and just, oh, they're back on Earth. Or, quickly just jumps to Wong being like, yo, what up, guys? Or, I don't know, something. I just don't think that I don't think there's any salvageable ships, because the place looks wrecked and their ship was wrecked. They had another happy landing.
Another happy landing.
And the whole thing, I mean, there's just not, like, they have no options. There's no way they could get back to Earth. So that's why I think the Wong idea is, like, the only idea. Actually, the only alternative would be if Rocket Raccoon somehow got a ship and went to Titan, knowing that Peter Quill might be there. But I don't even know if they know that they were going to Titan. I mean, they left to go to, I can't remember his name, but Peter Dinklage, way earlier. So I don't know. It's all up in the air at this point. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to happen. Now, like I said, when Tony Stark does get off of Titan and back to Earth, I think he's going to meet up with Ant-Man, regardless if it's him seeking Ant-Man or Ant-Man seeking Iron Man or Tony Stark. I don't think that really matters. I think Ant-Man and Hank Pym are going to actually approach Iron Man, and when they realize that he's alive and, not missing, they'll know that he's trying to fix this whole situation. And I'm sure they know that this is an outcome of the Thanos battle. I'm sure that all these characters know, or they'll learn very quickly. Now, I think Dr. Pym will make a suit or provide a suit for Tony Stark, which he will wear or modify, then wear to go into the past along with Ant-Man. Or they go traveling in the little submarine-looking thing to bring them into the past, which would also explain why Hank Pym might not be able to go, because he's already shrunk too much, where he said it could actually probably kill him if he were to shrink, even though he's in like a submarine type thing. I still think that would be damaging to him, especially if he's going subatomic. So I think he's going to stay behind after he supplies Ant-Man and Iron Man and maybe Nebula or whoever else might be there with the necessary components that they'll need to travel. And I also think this would explain why Tony Stark doesn't really have any suit on besides the little shield jacket, which he probably gets from like Captain America or someone when they go in the past. So I would imagine he'd keep the suit on that Hank Pym, Dr. Pym, would have provided him. The actual villain for Ant-Man, the new one, I think it's not pointless, or I think he's going to be unimpactful. He's going to have no impact on anything else. I think the whole movie is mainly, like, the importance of the movie is solely going to be based on the fact of what they find and discover through the quantum realm, which you literally see a little clip of it, like a little ship, like they're discovering and on an expedition through the quantum realm. So I think that this is, like, their discoveries there is going to be what's brought over into Avengers 4 and what's going to really change the whole outcome of what could possibly happen. Now, yeah, I mean, there's very little to no importance of the villain and stuff in Ant-Man, at least not that I think. The only difference would be that Ant-Man would be able to perfect his skill, to the point where he is, at peak performance for his fighting, making him definitely a more useful Avenger. So yeah, I mean, that's my theory about what I think Ant-Man is gonna, lead into. I think Ant-Man's gonna be a pretty important movie, something that people don't really expect. I think it's gonna blindside a lot of people, when they realize how much it ties into Infinity War, or not Infinity War, but after Infinity War into Avengers 4. I mean, I could be completely wrong. There's all speculation, all this and that, but I do think that it's actually going to be an insanely important movie, and I actually think it's going to be way better than I'm thinking it's going to be. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, when I saw the trailer, like, yeah, it looks good. It looks like another, Marvel movie, but it has nothing that pops out like, oh wow, this is going to be insane. It wasn't like Thor Ragnarok with the whole comedy aspect and the whole mix between Planet Hulk and Thor, and it wasn't anything like that. So I'm looking forward to it, but I think that if my theory is correct, then I think that Ant-Man's gonna be, maybe it won't necessarily help the movie in terms of being a better movie, but I think it'll definitely make it where it's the kind of movie that you need to see before Avengers 4. Like, it's important to the MCU. Anyways, I'm just making this video mainly to document my theory or idea. So if I am right, I could be like, hey, I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I could just delete the video off YouTube and no one will ever know. Easy. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, or if you think that I'm accurate, or if you think I'm just completely wrong and I'm just a complete dumbass, then that's fine. Feel free to comment down below. I think this would be actually an interesting discussion. So I definitely feel free to comment. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what some of you guys say.